Angry Taylor Swift fans are pushing lawmakers to make concert ticketing less predatory. I'm Domati Pungo, and this is MTV News. Need to know. Lawmakers are getting involved in the recent debacle surrounding Taylor Swift's chaotic ticket sales for her upcoming Eras tour. Let's rewind to earlier this month. On November 15th, pre-sale tickets for Swift's upcoming U.S. trek became available online for members of Ticketmaster's verified fan program, which was launched in an effort to combat bots. Tons of fans were left waiting for as long as 3 hours behind thousands of others. And when many of them finally reached the front of the digital line, they got hit with error messages. Ticket prices, which were already up to $450 originally, skyrocketed on third-party sites, with some costing over $28,000. Needless to say, Swift fans were pissed. And remember, this was just for the verified fan program. The backlash got more intense when Ticketmaster later canceled the public sale of tickets for the tour altogether. That's when Swift broke her silence, apologizing to her fans on her Instagram stories, saying in part, "There are a multitude of reasons why people had such a hard time trying to get tickets, and I'm trying to figure out how the situation can be improved moving forward." Ticketmaster also issued an apology, blaming the problem on unprecedented demand and a staggering number of bot attacks. The demand for the Eras tour tickets were driven up in part by automated bots set up to scour the internet for high-demand tickets, buy up a huge number, and resell them for much higher prices to pocket the profits. We've seen this with top acts like Bob Dylan, Adele, and Miley Cyrus. Recently, 22,000 people pre-registered to buy tickets to see Blake Shelton, but only a few hundred actually got them. So what can be done to keep fans from being exploited or priced out of concerts? In 2016, Congress passed the Better Online Ticket Sales Act, also known as the Bots Act, which aims at cracking down on this. It gives the government authority to penalize those who misuse bots to buy large swaths of tickets online. But in the 6 years since the law passed, the Federal Trade Commission has only enforced the Bots Act once. Senators Richard Blumenthal and Marsha Blackburn wrote a letter to the FTC this week asking why the agency has barely cracked down on bots use and if there were roadblocks to keeping ticketing fair that Congress needs to know about. One major issue here is that Ticketmaster has no real competition, something that Congress tried to safeguard against when Live Nation acquired Ticketmaster in 2010 with a consent decree. That mandate set up guardrails that included a $1 million fine if the company tried to bully venues into using their services. But AOC still sees issues. The day Ticketmaster fumbled the Swift ticket rollout, she tweeted, "Daily reminder that Ticketmaster is a monopoly. Its merger with Live Nation should never have been approved. And they need to be reined in. Break them up." She and Senator Amy Klobuchar have been railing against Ticketmaster because the company almost singularly controls the distribution of concert tickets for the world's most influential artists. And with that much control comes some shady moves to boost profits. When you buy an event ticket, up to 78% of the cost goes to Ticketmaster fees. They've even got a dynamic pricing system that drives up ticket prices due to demand. Ticketmaster was in hot water over the summer when seats to Bruce Springsteen's first tour in 6 years went on sale and were driven up to as high as $4,000 apiece. Cory Doctorow, co-author of the book Choke Point Capitalism, suggests Ticketmaster is complicit in price gouging by dominating the resale business.
They have their own resale software. It's called Trade Desk, and in 2018, an investigation revealed that Ticketmaster had encouraged and incentivized resellers to set enormously high ticket resale prices. Ticketmaster loves resales for one simple reason: they get to charge their service fees twice.
So what we end up with is one business that's controlling the mainstream market and the gray market. But major artists do have some leverage to help curtail this. Ed Sheeran, for example, has banned the resale of his tickets for over the original price. On Sheeran's sold-out tour in 2018, promoters canceled more than 10,000 tickets that were resold on Viagogo, often at vastly inflated prices. The average listener makes it possible for artists to tour in the first place. And as inflation and other costs are crippling everyday people, it's damn near criminal for these fans to get priced out of seeing these artists live. But a step in the right direction is when fan groups, like the Swifties, make their voices heard and prompt lawmakers to seek actual solutions. I'm Doma T. Pungo, and that's what you need to know.